Speaker, the President of the United States.
President Biden delivers the State of the Union address amid turmoil in Europe and rising inflation at home. Plus, KCU's College of Dental Medicine has received initial accreditation status. We'll tell you what that means for the college and for you.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
History, we've learned this lesson. When dictators do not pay a price for their aggression, they cause more chaos.
With a war raging in Ukraine and prices rising rapidly at home, President Biden tonight laid out his plans to confront both in his State of the Union address before a joint session of Congress and guests, including Ukraine's ambassador to the U.S. Natalie Brand has the latest from Capitol Hill.
President Biden entered the House chamber for his first State of the Union address with the focus on the war in Europe. Lawmakers wore blue and yellow ribbons to show their support for Ukraine.
Stand and send an unmistakable signal to the world of Ukraine.
The president announced he's closing U.S. airspace to Russian aircraft following the move of European allies.
Further isolating Russia and adding additional squeeze on their economy.
The president also stressed the importance of the NATO alliance in standing up to Russia's unprovoked aggression and Vladimir Putin.
He thought he could divide us at home, in this chamber, in this nation. He thought he could divide us in Europe as well. But Putin was wrong. We are ready.
On the home front, the president took credit for job growth, touted his bipartisan physical infrastructure bill, and laid out his plan to tackle inflation.
Instead of relying on foreign supply chains, let's make it in America.
The president also announced what he's calling a unity agenda, action items for Congress that have bipartisan support, including improving mental health care.
Let's take on mental health, especially among our children whose lives and education have been turned upside down.
President Biden made his case to the nation with an approval rating that's dropped to 44%.
Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds gave the Republican response to President Biden's address. She said the president has failed to gain the respect of the world and failed to unite Americans. Reynolds said the administration's foreign policies offer too little, too late, and the current domestic policies are to blame for rising inflation. A nice start to the month weather-wise, Doug Heddy.
Yeah, it turned out to be a great March 1st. Temperatures fantastic for us today as we soared well into the 70s. 73 was our high, well shy of the record high set back in 2006 of 87 degrees. But you can see our normal high, it's 54, so a good chunk above where we should be for this time of the year. All right, clear skies. Nothing is going on outside. We're going to see clear skies as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. Temperatures in general pretty good. Most of us are sitting into the mid-50s, and then eventually we'll drop back to about 44 later on tonight. But it's going to be another quick warm-up. Plenty of sunshine, 56 by 9, 72 by noon. Look at our high temp all the way up to 77 as we head into the afternoon hours. We do have thunderstorms in the forecast. These are going to roll in by the weekend. I'm going to break this down for you here in just a bit.
We'll see you then. Thanks, Doug. New program is helping low-income Missourians pay water and wastewater bills. It's offered through the Department of Social Services, helping people pay for disconnection or reconnection fees and current or past due water or wastewater bills. Among the qualifications, a person must be at or below 60% of the state median income, have $3,000 or less in bank accounts, retirement accounts, or investments, and be a United States citizen. You can visit Missouri's Department of Social Services website for more information. KCU in Joplin is one step closer to opening its dental school after receiving accreditation status from the Commission on Dental Accreditation. Many areas across our country face a dental shortage, including Southwest Missouri. Well, now the College of Dental Medicine can start accepting applications for the first dental school class and for faculty.
So we think we're in a perfect position to recruit students from Southeast Kansas, Northeast Oklahoma, Northwest Arkansas in this 4-state region. And in fact, we did a study that showed that this 4-state region really has a large need for dentists.
The College of Dental Medicine is expected to start classes in July of 2023. Still ahead, how a Missouri company is contributing to relief efforts in Ukraine. And we'll have the latest on fighting in Ukraine as a 40-mile-long Russian military convoy moves closer to that country's capital. A seed company based in Mansfield, Missouri, has raised more than $1 million in relief efforts for the people of Ukraine. Joe Hickman has the story of how planting a seed grew into such a fruitful harvest.
The Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company had humble beginnings in 1998 when Jerry Gettle started it as a hobby at his home in Mansfield, Missouri.
We started out in my bedroom here in the Missouri Ozarks, and each year it grows a little.
And boy, has it grown. This 150,000 square foot warehouse in Seymour opened just last year, and another warehouse the same size is being added.
This is for the purpose of packing seeds, shipping seeds.
As the small towns of Seymour and Mansfield are homes to a worldwide business.
We do have a global outreach. We're one of the largest heirloom seed companies, and we ship seeds to at least 70 countries in addition to every state in the United States.
Among the places they ship to is Ukraine.
One of the biggest farming regions, gardeners and seed collectors and hobby plant breeders and everything else. And the Ukraine is a huge area for home gardening.
And Gettle has a connection to Ukraine as well.
My great-grandfather, Jacob Hederly, immigrated over here over 100 years ago from the Ukraine. They were actually forced out due to Soviet Russian aggression at that time.
So with Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Gettle wanted to help, posting that from noon last Friday to midnight Sunday, all the seed sales from his business would be contributed to the World Help Humanitarian Organization. And Baker Creek would end up raising $1.6 million.
It was about 44,000 different people put in orders, which was totally overwhelming to us. And we're actually overwhelmed here now in the background. We're going to be probably behind for a couple of weeks.
The good news, though, is while in the old days all the seeds were packed and shipped by hand, today they have machines that can pack up to 20,000 seeds per day. Space-age technology, if you will.
He's wearing that because he packs hot pepper seeds. And the hot pepper seeds can get into your lungs, cough, sneeze, a whole bit.
But here, it's not just about technology. It's planting seeds of human kindness and caring.
A month ago, we raised funding for refugees in Afghanistan that were having hardships. We've raised funding for different hurricanes here in the U.S. About every 1 to 2 months, we try to do a major fundraiser. But this has been the biggest one to date, this one for the Ukraine.
A U.S. official confirms to CBS News that the U.S. has agreed to directly provide Stinger anti-aircraft missiles to the Ukrainian military. That as Russia continued to pound Ukraine for a 6th day with no signs of letting up. Deborah Alfarone has the latest now from Washington.
The Ukrainian Interior Ministry says at least 10 people died and dozens more were hurt when a Russian missile slammed into this building in Ukraine's second largest city, Kharkiv. Russian rockets also destroyed this apartment building. Several people died. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called the attack a war crime, insisting the building was not a legitimate target. Eyewitness video captured the moment a Russian missile hit this television tower in the capital, Kyiv, knocking out TV stations and killing at least 5 people. A 40-mile-long Russian convoy remains stalled north of the capital city. A U.S. official says it has barely moved over the past 24 hours because of fuel and food shortages and logistical issues. Meanwhile, civilians are fleeing Ukraine to neighboring countries any way they can.
I don't want to leave, but it's completely dangerous to stay here.
President Biden spoke with Ukraine's president Tuesday, promising the U.S. will hold Russia accountable. The White House is also asking Congress to approve $6.4 billion in military and humanitarian aid. About 150 lawmakers stood on the steps of the U.S. Capitol, wearing blue and yellow, the colors of the Ukrainian flag, as a sign of solidarity. And the United Nations General Assembly will vote Wednesday on a resolution demanding that Russia immediately stop using force against Ukraine and withdraw its military forces. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
Ukraine's president says he's open to holding more talks with Russia aimed at ending the war, but insists Russia must stop bombarding his citizens before any negotiating can take place. A cyber attack is targeting one of the largest automakers in the world. A supplier of plastic and electronic parts used in Toyota vehicles was the victim of a cyber attack from an unidentified source. As a result, Toyota was forced to suspend 28 assembly lines at 14 of their factories in Japan. Authorities are investigating the source of the attack and any potential ties to Russia. Japan joined the U.S. and other Western countries in imposing harsh financial sanctions on Russia after their invasion of Ukraine. The investigation continues into a deadly shooting inside a Sacramento, California church. Happened yesterday at the house of worship known simply as the Church in Sacramento. Investigators say a man killed his 3 children, all under the age of 15, and a woman who was there to supervise a visit between the alleged gunman and his kids. An employee upstairs from the sanctuary heard the gunshots and called for help. Investigators say the man eventually turned the gun on himself inside that church. Later, after capturing their first conference championship in program history, the Missouri Southern women keep bringing in the accolades.
Plus, nice temperatures stick around over the next few days, but also some thunderstorms. We'll look at that coming up. Well, of course, it turned out to be a nice day for us today. Temperatures fantastic as we went into low to mid 70s for afternoon highs. Great shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Clear skies, and we're going to continue to see clear skies as we go through the overnight hours. All right, let's look back at February. When I look at it as a whole, I feel like it was a pretty cold month. We had 3 winter storms. The first week, we got 7 inches of snow. Third week, we, of course, had a little ice event into last week as well. So we had several little events that rolled through, but we also had a lot of days that temperatures were really nice across the region. And we started off March very nice as well. Anywhere from mid 40s to mid 50s right now. I think most of us are going to kind of hover into the mid 40s, maybe even lower 40s. Our lower levels of the atmosphere are very dry, so it allows temperatures to drop off pretty quickly. We got a light southerly wind, 5 to 10, looks good, 7th in the range line, currently sitting at 55. Southerly winds at about 10, humidity is at 34%. As we go through the overnight hours, we continue to see the clear skies across the region. That's what we're going to see tonight. There's really nothing going on across the entire Central Plains. If we head a little farther west, you can see a little spin near New Mexico, and that is a weak little upper level wave that is going to stay to our south. A little bigger dip once you get out into the Pacific Ocean. Those are our next couple waves. Those will start to affect us by the time we head into the weekend. All right, for us tonight, pretty much clear skies. Chilly in spots, 40 to about 45 for most of us for an overnight low. Nice warm up tomorrow. A little bit warmer than what we saw today. I think we'll go into the mid to upper 70s. 44 to start, 71 by noon. High temp is 76. Southerly winds are going to be light at about 5 to 10. However, once you get west of Iola, Parsons to about Oswego, you're going to approach 80. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple areas hit 81, 82 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, few little clouds rotate through, back down into the mid 40s. As we go into Thursday, we do have a weak little front that kind of hangs out. So our southern counties warmer than our northern counties, but still anywhere from about 68 to 78 from north to south. So another good day. Clouds increase Thursday night. We'll have a lot of clouds rotating through on Friday, but still upper 60s to near 70 degrees. Then our next storm system rolls in. So this is going to be on Saturday. Scattered thunderstorms. Some of these could be strong. The greater threat for severe weather is kind of closer to Kansas City, but we could get some strong to low-grade severe storms. Front drops in Sunday morning, but it puts the brakes on, and then it lifts back toward the north during the daytime hours on Sunday. So this will give us chances for showers and thunderstorms again, and some of those could be strong to possibly severe. All right, 76 tomorrow, 74 Thursday, 68 on Friday. We hold into the 60s as we go through the weekend. We do cool down early next week, but man, enjoy the next few days. It's going to be really nice. It's not going to be super windy. It's going to be breezy, but not super windy, so not bad.
Preview of spring, just a little bit early.
It's right around the corner.
Yes, it is. Thanks, Doug. Place to be for Mardi Gras is, of course, New Orleans, but if you can't make the trip, there's still plenty to do here in the 4 states on this Fat Tuesday, Shirley's Tavern in Carterville, Missouri is celebrating tonight with a party. We caught up with the owner to hear what they have to offer revelers looking to have some fun.
I like to people watch. You know, my wife and I enjoy throwing parties. My wife really enjoy throwing parties. I think she likes decorating and putting all the ins and outs of it together. So it's enjoyable seeing a finished product, you know, and seeing everybody get the enjoyment out of it.
Coming up in sports, Player of the Year honors from Missouri Southern freshman Lacey Stokes. And the Thomas Jefferson boys aim to move on to the state quarterfinals. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
Well, the MIAA put out its all-conference awards this afternoon, and to nobody's surprise, Missouri Southern's Lacey Stokes is on the list. Stokes is the league's Player of the Year, the unanimous Freshman of the Year, and a first-team All-MIAA selection. The freshman from Mount Vernon, the team's leading scorer, posting 19.4 points per game, which is third most in the MIAA. She leads the league in assists and steals. She's also second on the team with 5.6 rebounds per game. Stokes finished the regular season with 6 straight 20-point games, helping the Lions earn their first ever MIAA regular season title and the #1 seed in this week's MIAA conference tournament in Kansas City.
I knew that I was going to have an opportunity to do something, and you know, me and Coach Russell talked before, and the opportunity was there, but it was whether I was going to act on it and, you know, put in the work to be successful at it. And you know, I have high standards of myself, so this is anything less that I wouldn't have expected of myself, but it's still shocking and unbelievable at the same time.
Stokes not the only one receiving all-conference recognition today for Southern. Center Maddie Stokes is a third-team All-MIAA selection and made the All-MIAA defensive team. She led the league in blocks in the regular season. Amaya Johns is a third-team All-League selection. Then the guy running the whole thing, head coach Ronnie Ressel, is the unanimous MIAA Coach of the Year. And that one, easy to explain after leading a team that was picked to finish 9th in the league to a first-place finish.
In our preseason, we looked at it as far as with our team. We felt we had all the pieces. At each spot, we thought we was really talented, and so our expectations went up from the years past. We thought we should be able to finish in the top 4, and like you said, as the season went on, we're winning ball games and everything else, and like, hey, our expectations, we need to adjust those a little bit. We got a chance to do something really special.
As for Pittsburg State, senior guard Tristan Gegg has earned second-team All-MIAA recognition. Gegg leads the Gorillas in scoring with 17 points per game. The Labette County High School product made more threes this season than anyone else in the conference. She's top 5 in the MIAA in field goal percentage, three-point percentage, and free throw percentage. Pittsburg State men's basketball will have a new head coach when next season rolls around. The school announced today that Kim Anderson is retiring after 5 years with the program. Now, in those 5 years, the Gorillas were 64-76 overall. That includes 42-59 in the MIAA. Anderson led the Gorillas to back-to-back winning seasons in 2018 and 2019. The team finished under 500 the last 3 years and missed the MIAA conference tournament this season. Anderson was hired back in 2017 after spending 3 years as the head coach at his alma mater, Missouri. The Thomas Jefferson boys are in the Class 1 state basketball bracket. The Cavaliers won the Class 1 District 5 championship on Saturday to earn their spot in the state sectional round. Now, TJ back on the floor tonight facing the Rich Hill Tigers. The winner earns a sectional title and a spot in the state quarterfinals. Early on, Caden Myers, really tough shot, but he gets it to go. Then final seconds of the first, Tyler Broward beats the buzzer with that. Cavaliers up 4 going to the second. Now in the second, Rich Hill hangs around. McGall Cho Chase inside and the foul. He gets 14 points, 13 rebounds. Thomas Jefferson, though, up 27-21 at half. The Cavaliers go up double digits in the third. David Triplett knocks down the 3. Thomas Jefferson gets the lead to 13 going to the fourth. Then they would close it out. Back to Broward. He goes for 17 points, 13 rebounds. Thomas Jefferson wins and moves on to the state quarterfinals 55-35. The Pittsburgh State Gorillas took 2 out of 3 from Missouri Southern in their first MIAA series of the year over the weekend. The Gorillas are back to conference play on Friday against Missouri Western, but first, today they got a non-conference game against Southwest Baptist. PSU wins that one big, 14-2. Austin Bonnell goes 2 for 2 with a double, home run, and 5 RBIs. Pitt State will host a 3-game series against Missouri Western this weekend, with Game 1 scheduled for Friday at 3. Missouri Southern also in action today on the road against East Central, looking for back-to-back wins. The Lions roll by the Tigers 11-0. Tommy Stevenson hits 2 home runs and drives in 4. Well, that's it for sports. We're back after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Private First Class Harry Smith served in the U.S. Army. He's from Pittsburgh, and we are proud to salute Private First Class Harry Smith, tonight's four-state hero. NASA successfully launched its Atlas V rocket this afternoon from Cape Canaveral, Florida. The rocket's carrying an advanced weather satellite high above Earth into the Western Hemisphere. The satellite's mission will be to monitor the western U.S., Alaska, Hawaii, Mexico, Central America, and the Pacific Ocean. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration hopes satellites will help save lives by providing more accurate weather predictions in the face of climate change. And of course, closer to home, we get very accurate weather predictions because we have this guy.
Well, I hope so. I strive for it.
Yeah, and you're predicting some pretty nice weather in the days
ahead. Upper 70s tomorrow. We're going to have our western counties should hit 80 tomorrow afternoon. 74 on Thursday, 68 on Friday. Still fairly warm as we head into the weekend, but we have to introduce chances for showers and thunderstorms.
Final sports notes.
The MIAA postseason conference tournament begins tomorrow in Kansas City. The Pitt State women up first at noon facing Washburn. We'll have that right here tomorrow night.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.